Okay. Good morning, everyone. You're most welcome to today's episode of the Market Snapshot. My name is Norbert Kiza, and I'm happy to be with you guys today for the snapshot. Yeah, so we have quite a bit that's been happening in the markets since the start of the week. From some movements on the indices, we've been having Nasdaq breaking all-time high and moving as high as 19,900. And of course, in addition to that, we've also seen some really big moves on some of the currency pairs. And let's just quickly look through, through the quotes as of this morning on some of the different assets. So looking at Forex, we are seeing some nice recoveries for some of the currency pairs like the pound dollar, euro dollar, AUD dollar is trading higher. AUD USD, most of those are trading higher. And of course, we also have the indices also steadily rising, the US indices, as well as also some of the indices from Asia and Europe. Now, looking over to crypto is also looking a bit bullish as of today morning. And of course, this is on the back of some bit of indecision on the lower prices or price levels. So we are seeing at least some recovery there for the indices. Now, looking into the day, we don't really have that much today on the calendar. I think the main event that we've had today is the CPI data that we got from the UK, where we saw there was a slight decline on inflation on the yearly basis. We saw it dropping from 3.9% to 3.5%, and we also see that PPI also declined. Here we had the core PPI output on the yearly basis declining from a 0.3% to actually increasing slightly from 0.3% to 1%. We also saw the same as well also for PPI output, which also declined from 0.3% to negative 0.1%. So typically what we have been experiencing with inflation is that we have seen a steady decline inflation world over from inflation in the US to inflation in the Eurozone. Generally, we are seeing a downtrend on inflation, and I believe that has to do with a bit of a slowdown. We also saw retail sales yesterday also indicated to a bit of a slowdown in spending in the US. We saw the retail sales actually coming in lower, some of them even coming into negative territory, like the core retail sales. So all that is pointing towards a slowdown. And I think it's on this back that the Federal Reserve most likely is going to have to act soon regarding rate cuts. Now, going further into the day, we have the Swiss National Bank monetary policy assessment. Tomorrow is going to be a big day for the Swiss franc. That's why I want to go over it on the charts today, because I'm expecting us to see a nice move higher, possibly on USDCHF on the back of renewed comments for rate cuts from the Swiss National Bank. Now, going into DXY to have a look at DXY and see how it has been trending. DXY has been steadily moving higher. However, it seems to again have faced some bit of resistance along these levels here. As you can see, we moved high up to 106, but after reaching here, this was in April, we started having a downtrend. Now, if you look at the data we've been getting from the US, most of it has been pointing towards a bit of a slowdown in the US economy. I think aside from the jobs market, which has stayed relatively hot, when you look at the rest of the data like inflation, PMI numbers, if you look at the numbers we've also been getting for for inflation, for GDP, the last GDP reading we got, we saw a drop from 3.4% to about 1.4%. So all that is pointing to some kind of a slowdown, and it's likely that we are going to continue to see a relatively choppy DXY. Now, again, the reason why I'm coming back to DXY is to show you that we've been having it steadily rising. However, it's still facing resistance points, especially around here. And even as it's facing these resistance points, when you cross over to see how these other assets are doing, like gold, you'll notice that actually most of them are on a steady uptrend on the back of the choppy DXY. Awesome. Let's cross over to MT5 and see what's happening over on the charts. Now, on the MT5, I'm going to start with a Bitcoin on a weekly. I'm sure most of you are trading Bitcoin. We said Bitcoin is actually available on FX Pesa, so you can find it and you can be able to trade it with one of East Africa's reliable top broker, which is FX Pesa. Now, looking at how Bitcoin dollar has been trending, for those of you that might or might not have been trading it, I have my analysis that I've had on Bitcoin for some time. It's very clear, as you can see. We had a downtrend right after hitting the peak. Okay, my apologies for that. I think my internet dropped for a moment there. Okay, yeah, so back to what we were talking about. So here we have Bitcoin. So we are stuck in a range, but very, very soon I'm expecting us to break out of this range, possibly moving as high as 100,000 over the course of the next few months. Now, crossing over to US30, this is how US30 is looking like. US30 has been stuck in a range here, as you can see, since we got into this range at the end of May till date. We are stuck in that range, okay? And typically what we are seeing with US30 is we should see a move very soon to the upside. If you go on to the lower time frames, US30 is the only index which is still lagging when we are considering how the other indices have been doing. US30 is still lagging because it has not yet shown signs of strong upside momentum. Nasdaq is currently at all-time high. S&P 500 is currently at all-time high. And we have not yet seen signs of a very strong uptrend for US30. Yesterday, during the New York session, we saw a steady move to the upside here, which seemed to have paused around this level of around 38,000, around 38,900. Now, if you guys go to my analysis previous snapshots, you'll notice that I actually had indicated to you that if you're trading US30, you need to keep an eye on this area here of 39,000 to 39,100, because every single time the US30 tries that area, it seems to start from that zone. Okay, we've seen it happening several times. We saw it happening on the 7th of June. We saw a sell from there. We saw it happening also on the 12th of June. We saw a sell-off from there. If you come now to where we were yesterday, we saw an attempt that was even lower than 39,000. So ideally, what you need to do now when you're trading it is today, first of all, it's a public holiday in the US, okay? It's a public holiday in the US. So I don't expect that much price action on these indices. The movement will be there, but very, very choppy, okay? So how do you trade US30 today? today you might want to monitor how it performs around 39,000. If we get a break above 39,000, then we'll have to we'll have to move our stop loss to break even, so that in case, um, Robert Cavalli, you're saying you can't hear me. How clear is my mic? Mic check, mic check. Okay, Robert, I believe I'm clear now. Awesome. Now, how would you trade US30 today? Just keep monitoring to see how we perform towards 39,000. Okay, so right now we are stuck in some kind of a rising trend. We've been rising from this bottom box here, from the bottom part of the box, around 38,426. We got into a slight, we're now in a slight ascending triangle of sorts. So we should see a potential break to the upside, taking out 39,000 and moving higher. However, on Friday, I'm going to cover something that is very, very important if you're trading indices, because we have something we call quad witching. Okay, so quad witching is where you have expiries for most of the different financial instruments all happening on the same day. Okay, so quad witching is going to be an event that is likely going to impact these indices, and we need to prepare for them, for the quad witching event, because if you don't prepare, then it can easily cause you to get stuck. So we are going to cover that on Friday. I'm not yet so certain what the quad witching event is going to do to these indices, but what I know is that there's going to be a what's likely is that there's going to be a very sharp movement on them, either to the upside or to the downside. So one of that is going to happen after that quad witching event. So the option expiries and then also the stock index expiries, all that is happening on Friday, and the US markets will be open. Now, going over to the Nasdaq has been breaking level after level after level. Okay, it's actually now getting almost, people who have been staying in the Nasdaq, I think now there must be one like, what's really going on? But the uptrend is undeniable, as you can see it. We are moving extremely bullish on a Nasdaq. Nvidia yesterday was actually able to break to become the first company with the highest valuation. I think upwards of almost 4 trillion, if I'm not mistaken. And I think all that is also supporting the Nasdaq, as well as also the S&P 500. Now, Apple has also been moving steadily higher, but I believe that the reason why the Nasdaq is moving this high is because of Nvidia's strong uptrend. Okay, so as you can see there quite clearly, what kind of trend we're having on the Nasdaq. It's been moving higher and higher and higher. We have not had any sign of a bearish momentum on the Nasdaq on a higher time frames for some time now. Okay, so you can see that last time we had a death cross for our moving averages was on the 10th of May. Okay, so that was when the Nasdaq was trading around 17,800. But from that point, it's been higher and higher and higher and higher. So today, the US markets are closed, so I don't expect that much movement from the Nasdaq. However, if you're looking at trading it, just wait to see how it does within this area here, because that is where we are currently ranging in. If we see a potential break above this box here, potentially above that level of 19,900, rather 19,985, then expect the Nasdaq to possibly move as high as 20,000. If we fail to break that area and move higher, then I believe the Nasdaq is going to retrace and start selling to the downside. Now, going over to GBPUSD, GBPUSD is currently on a nice move to the upside. And of course, this is likely because of some kind of dollar weakness. But also, the reason why we are having GBPUSD moving higher is the market might be trying to move higher in anticipation of no indication from the Bank of England. They are not going to cut rates. Okay. If you guys go back to where GBPUSD was trading at uh, around here, this was somewhere around here. Okay, so you can see this level here. That level there, I don't know if you guys can see it clearly. I drew my Fibonacci retracement from that swing low simply because it's at this point that we had GBPUSD recovering. Okay, so this recovery here for those of you that might not know, but this recovery happened the last time the Bank of England had their conference. Okay. Um, so when they had their conference here, they indicated during that conference that they are not certain when they are going to cut rates. Okay. So GBPUSD started trending higher from this level. Okay. And I tend to believe that this is going to be the low for the year for GBPUSD. We're not going to get below this zone again. The reason for that is because I believe that when the Federal Reserve starts cutting rates, its rate cuts are going to be quite more aggressive than the Bank of England. GBPUSD is on a very nice uptrend, okay, as you can see from this low that we had on the 20th of April, and we've been trending higher and higher and higher. Now, the reason why, for those of you that trade macro, you must be wondering, why is GBPUSD buying, yet the inflation data was actually supposed to be a sell, right? Right? Because whenever inflation increases, which of course it did when we got the data today morning, whenever inflation increases, we should be looking normally for rather when inflation decreases, normally look for a sell on the currency, okay? Because decrease on inflation is typically bearish for a currency pair. But now, what we're observing now is GBPUSD is moving higher despite that weak inflation. Now, the reason for that is because of this, okay? It's because the last time the Bank of England met, they weren't providing uh, very, I would say, accurate signals on where they are going to go with their rate cuts. Okay. So currently, traders are pricing in a higher pound on the back of no rate cut. So if the Bank of England comes, they're going to meet tomorrow. So tomorrow will be with Rufus. If the Bank of England comes tomorrow and mentions that they are going to start cutting rates, we are going to see a nice sell of this area. From here, we're going to see a move back down here. If they mention that that they are not yet certain when they are going to cut rates, GU is going to trade higher and is possibly going to move and trade all the way to this level over the next few days. Okay. That's my assumption. However, looking at how the inflation data came out today, I would start looking for sales on GU going into tomorrow. Okay. Possibly you might want to set your sell limits somewhere into this imbalance area here. Okay. Somewhere around here so that you have price possibly moving, triggering your sell limit into that area and then taking price all the way to the downside. Okay. Yeah. But for now, we should see a potential move to the upside. In case price hesitates and doesn't break out of my channel that I've drawn there, then you might want to start looking for sales along these levels around here. Okay. But for now, GU is looking steadily bullish at the moment. Now, crossing over to Euro USD, Euro USD is a bit of a tricky one, but again, I'll repeat this. We're in a nice uptrend also on Euro USD, as you can see, and we also seem to have reached the bottom for the year, which we also had around the 10th of April, which is somewhere around here. So from this area here, we are seeing the price steadily on an uptrend. Now, if you look at the H4 time frame, you'll notice that for some reason we've been having a lot of liquidity sweeps closer to our 61.8% fib level, the H4 time frame, and this is pointing towards a potential move to the upside for Euro USD. Okay, now if you guys recall earlier before we began, I began by looking at the DXY, and if you guys saw the DXY, you must have noticed that much as the DXY is trending higher, okay, from its lows it had in December, despite it trending higher, it's still showing signs of weakness. Okay, it's still showing signs of weakness. I just need to go back to it so that you guys can see it clearly. I don't want you guys to lose me here, so let me just show it to you guys again. So this is the DXY. Okay, so much as we've been moving trending higher, we are still having signs of weakness on the DXY, as you can see. Okay, uh, it's moving up, yes, but it's still showing signs of weakness around these areas here. Okay, around these areas here. it's showing signs of weakness. So I think that is going to allow um, these other currency pairs to possibly benefit, okay, from that weakness. So for us to see a nice move to the up, we need to see DXY having a nice move, possibly to this area here, which is most likely not to happen. Okay, so I tend to believe that DXY is going to stay choppy, much as it's in an uptrend. If we do not see it breaking through these levels here, okay, first of all, this level here, if we don't break through this level here, around 105,529, then we're going to see some sales for USD. If again we do not take out this area here, we are going to see a potential move down there. Just squad, just squad. Today I think I am not going to be forgiven. Yeah. I don't want to disappoint you, J Squad, but I'm actually at office at the moment. Yeah, I'm at the FX Express office. I'm not at home. That's a good one. That's a good one, J Squad. I think thank you so much for the laugh this morning. Anyway, so let's cross over to gold. So this is what gold is having. This is what gold is having. Now, gold. This is what gold is looking like at the moment. So I have my setup there for gold. We've been having gold again. If you guys recall from what we said earlier, gold has been having signs of of bullish momentum. Every single time it sells, it just somehow does not sell too much. We got into this demand zone around this area here. We also tried it again around this area here. That was around the 10th of June. We again failed to sell from that area. And again, you can see that we have formed some sort of a symmetrical triangle on gold, which has been bringing us closer and closer towards an imminent breakout, which it has currently now created. So gold has broken out of that area there, okay, somewhere around here of that asymmetrical triangle, and is now looking relatively bullish, okay? Now, much as gold is looking bullish, it still is showing really it's still showing some kind of limited. It's not giving us that strong some strong signs of upside. Okay, it's like choppy upside, right? So choppy upside. And even if you look at its price action yesterday, you can see that much as we've been advancing higher, okay, we are having that choppy uptrend move. So which I think is a nightmare for scalpers, because every single time you're having a move to the upside, you're having a pullback of about 50 pips, moves back up, pulls back a bit, moves back up. Okay. But you can see how we've been trending on it, even on the M15. Okay. We've been having a steady uptrend. Okay. Now, um, I know that the price action today is not the best. Okay. Uh, and of course, I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it could have something to do with the current holiday that's in the that we have in the US, because they have the holiday. It's called the Juneteenth holiday. I don't know what Juneteenth holiday means, but that's the holiday they have. So maybe that could explain why the price action is choppy. Okay. However, this is what we're having on gold. So I want to see how gold does around these levels. Okay, I want to see how it does around these levels. We need to first of all take out this area here. So I need to mark my levels on gold. So areas that I'm looking at are these areas here. Those are my targets for my take profits. Okay. And if I'm looking for a stop loss when I'm trading gold, possibly, now it depends again on what size of account you have, because I don't want to give you guys a stop loss, and then when you get to that area, gold is just picking up liquidity and moving back higher, because its actual stop loss is somewhere below 2,270. That's where gold has somehow failed to break below. Okay, and this is from April. Meanwhile, just look at your chart, you'll be able to see that from April we've been trying to break below that zone, and we have somehow failed. We tried here, we failed. We tried here, we failed. We tried here, we failed, and currently That's how gold is looking like. Awesome. That's it from me. Maybe just to quickly go to USDCHF. So of course tomorrow, I'm not going to be the one handling the snapshot, but tomorrow we have the Swiss National Bank conference. So I just want to hint a bit about it today, so that just in case, because of course tomorrow we're not meeting. So let me just talk about it briefly today. Now, tomorrow we have the Swiss National Bank meeting. The last time they met, which was around here. Let me just take you guys there. Give me a moment. Oh, it's taken us to. Okay, now I don't know if you guys can see this candle here. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this candle. It's a big blue candle. Okay, I've tried to zoom in on it. So, now this big blue candle here was when the Swiss National Bank met. That was in March. And then when they met in March, we saw a nice sharp move to the upside. Okay. So this sharp move to the upside was a move that would have been picked by traders uh, who possibly must have gotten a round of what was going to happen with the Swiss National Bank. Okay. Now, how can you trade the Swiss National Bank conference tomorrow? What I can advise is set stop losses. Set stop orders. You can set a stop order here, and then you can set another stop order here, so that in case the market comes and bounces through that area, you can be able to have a move all the way to the upside. Now, I'm expecting us to have an eventful day tomorrow for this pair. Okay, this is the USD CHF, which is USD Swissy, or maybe USD Swiss franc, whatever you can call it. Okay. Now, if we get a rate cut tomorrow, we are going to see we are going to see this pair trending higher. Okay. We possibly could even trade as high as that area. That is if we get a rate cut. Now, currently the consensus is that the Swiss National Bank is going to cut rates. The last time they cut their rates by 25 basis points. Okay. The rate was going for it was 1 point, I think 75%. Then they cut down to 1.5%. That was about 25 basis points, okay, or 0.25%. Okay. Now, that was the last rate cut we got. Now, what is likely is that we are likely to get another rate cut of 25 basis points. So, my assumption is we are going to get a nice push to the upside. But looking at how vulnerable the dollar is looking like at the moment, I'm just not too certain how strong this move is going to be, even with a rate cut. Okay. Yes, we had the market moving higher when we had the rate cut in March. Okay. However, it's really going to depend on the technicals. How strong will the dollar be at the time that they cut the rates? If the dollar is weak, then I don't think you guys can expect a relatively uh, strong Swiss franc. Okay. So it's all going to depend on. Okay, I've lost my chart. I don't know where exactly it is. Where is USDCHF? I can't seem to see it. Okay, it's here. Okay, so it's really going to depend on the dollar strength. So yes, we are going through this today, but keep an eye on USDCHF tomorrow to see what happens over there. If we do not see a move to the upside, then possibly we are going to continue in this downtrend channel that I drew from this high here. We've been seeing the market steadily declining. All right, that's it from me. Guys, question time. Question time. Yes, I'm really big on fundamentals. I focus mostly on fundamentals more than technicals, because fundamentals definitely move the markets. Yeah, so yeah, it's good to keep an eye on the fundamentals as well as also the technicals. Yeah. Stop orders are just orders that you place above or below the market price, expecting that the market is going to come and break through those levels. So I typically use stop orders when I'm trading news. Okay. Like for instance, if you go to gold, gold presented so many opportunities to use stop orders. Okay. Let's go to gold on a M15. Yesterday we had low retail sales for the US. And what did we get from gold? We saw a nice move higher for gold. Okay. You saw this big candle here for gold. This was because of the news. Okay. If you also go to PPI, which you had last Friday, you also see this candle here. So when you set your stop orders, you set them before the news. So you set them and you give a distance, possibly maybe between 40 to 50 pips, so that in case the market comes and breaks that zone, then you're able to get a move all the way. Okay. So that is how the stop orders work. Okay. Awesome. Oh, thank you so much, J Squad. Thank you so much. I hope you guys, and actually we recorded that bullish banter conversation. Uh, we recorded it last month. Okay, so a lot has happened since then. We've seen Apple moving higher. We've seen Nvidia moving even higher. Yeah, so yeah, and it's still early for a number of those stocks. So I suspect that's also one of the reasons why we are having the Nasdaq moving higher, like it's since we recorded the bullish banter podcast around the 28th of May. So from there, you can see how the index has been moving. Okay. Yeah. So thanks so much for that, J Squad. Will gold sell soon? Again, I think Davis, you might have to refer back to my setup for gold. That's how gold is looking like at the moment. So now it's up to you guys to judge. The next level is either 40,000, rather 2,340, 2,347. Those are the levels gold is headed to next. But it's a choppy market today. So you need to have a relatively wide stop loss, because if you have it too tight, you're likely to be stopped out you know quite easily. Okay. Yeah, or you could wait for tomorrow. But for today, I think my best trading setups for today I have on gold. We're looking for a potential buy. um GBPUSD as well. We're looking for it to buy possibly into that box. So that's what I'm looking out for. I'm looking for a buy for GBPUSD. If we do not buy into that box, then we need to set our sell limits somewhere around this area here in anticipation of a reversal. Okay. Do you think a dollar is still in an uptrend? Uh, its uptrend is weakening, Malombe. Uptrend is weakening. Yeah, we had the double top in April. We've now had a lower high forming in May, rather in June. It's a weak uptrend. But then again, also the Federal Reserve mentioned that they're going to cut rates in December. Okay, so I mean, there's a lot of room between now and then for the dollar to benefit from an uptrend. Yeah, and that's if they actually cut in December. If they move their rate cuts to September, then dollar is definitely going to start selling. Um, are Nasdaq and Nvidia correlated? Yes, yeah, they are. Nvidia has a very big weighting on the Nasdaq, as well as also S&P 500. So there are some days where Nvidia can just completely control the entire Nasdaq. Now, if I'm speaking about S&P 500, 58% of that uptrend move that you've been seeing on the S&P 500 is because of Nvidia. Only because of Nvidia. Okay. Nvidia has been on a tear, guys. It's been moving higher and higher and higher on the back of that AI optimism. Okay. Yeah. Next question. How come EU is bearish and GU is bullish and they are correlated pairs? Not 100%. I don't think so. I don't think they are not 100% correlated. They are, yes, but not 100%. Okay. So there's a bit of room of indifference in their movements. Okay. So guys, I want to take you to this box here, which you can use to monitor correlation, okay, on different things, okay. So we are going to look at Euro USD and GBP USD. We are going to look at GBP USD and Euro USD in terms of correlation, okay. So GBP USD is here, okay, and now we are looking for Euro USD. What is the current correlation between Euro USD and GBP USD? Okay, so it's currently 72%. Okay, it's currently 72%, which means there's likelihood that we can get some kind of uh, indecision there. Okay, so there are times when correlation is at a peak for Euro and GU, especially around the times when news is released, when you have both of them buying. But when you have some data points getting released here and there, it can sometimes affect that correlation. Okay, awesome. Next question. Market exits, too much spot market entries where no price limits margins are utilized because liquidity zone gaps always engulf all orders on all market segments. I honestly am not following. Is that a comment? Sent Ole Kimathi. I think I am not understanding what that is. Is that commentary? If it's commentary, it's most welcome. Where markets are not moving today? Yeah, of course. Just squad. I think it has to do with the holiday we're having in the US. It's a bank holiday in the US. Juneteenth. That's the holiday. You can see it on your calendar. So that's why the markets are a bit slow today. All right. Unless if there are no more questions, then I think that's it from me, guys. I wish you all a happy trading day. Don't forget to watch the Bullish Banter podcast, which has just been put on FX Pesa's YouTube. In case you're new to trading, we also have classes for content. You have all that in the link, in the links in the bio, and you can get all that information there for your knowledge. Just what you're saying, which size do you get for fundamentals? I use Bloomberg only. Okay, I use Bloomberg only for my news. So I hope you guys can also do the same. All right, cheers, guys. I wish you all happy trading, and that's it. Cheers, guys.